Okay, so I said a lot of this stuff at the end of the video, but I just wanted to record this video real quick. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Rose. Some people know me as Mel. That's a whole nother, that's their business. That's not yours. My name is Rose. I'm funny. But yeah, it's been a while since I posted on here. I'm back on here. The direction of the channel is going to change a little bit, and I hope that you stay for it. If you're driving, drive safe. If you're in the gym, put that work in. If you're at home chilling, if you're cleaning your room, do something productive while you're listening to this video, because we ain't got much to look at right now. I just came from the gym, okay? We have a message coming up. Listen, it's good. It's good. I normally don't know what I'm gonna speak about until, I start getting comfortable with speaking on camera, and then God hits me with something, and then yeah. He has given me confirmation for this word. He had, this video couldn't have turned out more perfect, and I'm so happy that you're here to listen. Like this video, share it with someone that you think could benefit off of this. Like I said at the end of the video, even if this impacts just one person, that is enough for me, because what's the saying? We choose quality over quantity, okay? And yeah, so I hope you enjoy this video, this message, and yeah. Ooh, I'm excited for y'all. I feel like this is the best time to record something because, sorry, my face is red. Definitely just finished a crying session, and I thought that was the perfect time to come on and talk about things, because not only does that help me get over whatever the heck I was crying about, but it also, I usually have something good to say after crying it out. And yeah, I think that's my first set of advice on this app, is that if you need to let out some type of emotion, cry it out. Doing stuff to avoid it is not really gonna help. And yeah, but hey y'all, it's been a while. I'm sitting in front of my window, so it's really bright outside. Jada has joined me. I'm not sure why we're eating a brush, but yeah, Jada is with me today, guys. Oh, the little kiss, that's so cute. And we're gonna talk about life today. There's been a lot of things happening, and I want to say the last time I posted was for my 20 lessons to 20, which means I was about to turn 20. I'm definitely 21, y'all. Definitely 21. Today is June 12th, and as you could see, I fell off the face of the earth. And for those that do follow me, you probably know that even though I wasn't on YouTube, I definitely was on Instagram trying to, keep up with my business and keep up with school. There's been a lot of changes that's happened since then. 20 lessons to 20. I don't think I was in school. Was I in school? I don't think I was. I wasn't in school. I was working overnights at the hospital. I was taking clients where I could. I mainly took braiding clients. Oh. She's so rude sometimes. Today we're catching up on stuff. We're going to talk about a few things that I've learned since then. I'm so sorry. This lighting is just going crazy right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about today. Jada, go somewhere, bro. I'm not sure what exactly I want to talk about today, but I do know that I'm feeling a little bit driven to speak, to make a video. Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened since then, since the last time I came on here. I'm not gonna say that everything that's happened since then has been just all peaches and cream, which is why, and like that's why like I haven't been on here, because, you know, I've been whatever. But in reality, life was taking a hold on me, and I just needed some space, and I felt like I needed to learn a lot more before I could share things that I'm learning. And I feel like when I first started this YouTube channel, it was very enlightening to be able to have all these topics to talk about and these new lessons that I was learning. And it was so empowering to be able to learn it at a level that I could share with others. And I thought, and I just felt driven to create those videos, but I just felt even more driven to learn more before I put up my next video. And I could definitely say that since then, being 21 now has conditioned me for his kingdom, to be a soldier, to be productive still, to be the person that I always was, which is someone with a good heart. And you know, culture can sometimes convince you otherwise. It can sometimes distract you from what's really important. And I think being an entrepreneur, if anybody else is an entrepreneur, you could definitely relate to having to be on social media a lot, and that takes a toll on you after a while, you know. It's a lot of things that can take a toll on you if you're not able to filter out what's not meant for you. In the process, I've experienced loss, I've experienced love, I've experienced heartbreak, I've experienced job loss, I've experienced new opportunities with jobs, I've experienced so many things in so many different environments. I've been able to meet so many beautiful souls, whether we're friends or not today. I could definitely say that everyone that I've come across has had such a beautiful heart, and I've been able to take my lesson and move on. I think that's what I'm going to talk about today, because not for nothing, right when I said that, I felt like a weight kind of lift off my shoulders, and I feel like that's enough to make that my topic for today. Because boy, oh boy, do I know one or two things about taking a lesson and moving the heck on, okay? In different things, like I just said, in loss and heartbreak and school and tattooing and clientele and social media and in the gym, everything, like literally everything, being able to take a lesson, learn from it, apply it, and move on. I think something that's really important to me is just figuring it out in my 20s so I don't have to figure it out in my 40s or in my 60s. And of course, we're always going to experience some type of trial, but all these trials are conditioning us to become a better person for ourselves, for our family, for God, just all in all. I'm not sure why I look so oily. Something that has helped me be able to take a lesson and move on is journaling. If you do not have a journal, I definitely suggest to have a journal. Most of it, a lot of it is services that I've watched that have definitely helped me move on, that's helped me change my mindset, that has helped me gain a broader perspective. So I definitely recommend journaling for understanding, for being able to take a lesson and move on. Because, you know, in the moment, you may be going through something, write it down. Write it down. So then later, a few months later, you could go back to the first page, May 13th, and remember the good things, the bad things, and remember that you moved past those things, or you learned a lesson, or it could just remind you, like just a reminder that you're doing good for yourself and God is really moving you along more than you ever think. Yeah, May 13th of 2023, I want to say. I wish I had I wish I put the year, but actually I was gonna say I was new to journaling, but I wasn't even new to journaling. That's something that I do recommend, y'all. Put the date, the time, where you at, and put the year. Put the year, bro, because later on you're gonna be looking back and be like, what year was this? But yeah, I think I'm gonna read my first page. It says 7:58 a.m. at JFK Airport to Florida. Song of the day, All My Life, Lil Durk and J. Cole. I actually do not listen to that song anymore. First page, consider this a brand new beginning. You are on your second vacation of the summer. Life is as good as you make it. And the service that I was watching, Feel the Burn by Brad Davis. A title means nothing with no time spent with your friends. The hustle culture, I wrote about that. And everything that entails a hustle culture. Hustle, busy, and working hard. And then I have a list that says, how has God blessed you? What have you been numb to? Where did you not give him credit? And I wrote talent, that I learned fast. I wrote understanding. I wrote brains, beauty, curls, brown skin, a poet, a voice, a healthy body, funds to take care of what I need, amazing friends, LPN, travel, an amazing boyfriend that loves me, connection, giving me knowledge, and agreed to learn early. That's something that I just said. See, stuff like this is like almost like confirmation that you're in the right direction. And you know, obviously you may not be in the right direction in all aspects of life, but to be able to read back and know that you're still upholding certain things that you wanted to learn or adjust to back in the days, it's just confirmation of growth. And I feel like that's very important to have as a person, to be able to acknowledge your own self-growth, because waiting for somebody else to give you that affirmation, your flowers, waiting for somebody to give you your flowers is you'll waste your time. Okay, you'll waste your time, and really the only time that you really need flowers is when you least expect it. So yeah, that was my first page, and I just love this. Like, I love to be able to go through my notes and do that. Yeah, there's a lot of, and even on days where I was going through stuff, like I would go in my journal and write about it. I definitely didn't do it as much as I wanted to, but I got pretty deep in the book. That's pretty healthy. That's pretty healthy, okay? That's pretty healthy. But I've been able to journal my ups and downs, and being able to read that stuff and go back and realize that, you know, you're through that challenge that you were facing in life gives you some type of satisfaction, like I said before, like that you've been able to move on, and that it could give you it could help you have that cup half full perspective that I talked about earlier. In You did it. You earned another hour for your circle. And it could help you just move on. And if you want a cup half full perspective, I definitely recommend journaling because of what I said. Because of what I said. Anyways, Jada is just in the back macking. Just macking. Why she look sad for? I swear, come here. It's just because of her eyes. Like, nah, not her eyes, her fur. And I don't want to cut, I don't like cutting her too much because then she doesn't look as cute. Oh, she love me. Okay, she's gonna want more attention, I already know it. Taking your lesson and moving on. Something, and mind you, as I'm talking about this, I have to, like, there's nothing that I'm sharing with you that I didn't have to go through or that I'm not already going through. Like, to give advice means that you've experienced it. You really should not be giving advice on something that you haven't experienced before. And that's something that I really believe in, because like even the pattern of which I speak, when I'm talking about something I know, them words come quick. When I'm trying to maneuver through a situation that I haven't been through before, it's like real slow messages. Not messages, could be messages. Wow, what am I thinking of right now? It could be really slow responses, and you could definitely tell which is which. And there's nothing that I'm gonna put on my channel that I haven't experienced myself, like, really. And he's teaching me right now, and he's making me practice the things that I learn. Be careful what you pray for, because he'll give you the exact opposite, so you could practice what you prayed for. And it's definitely something I asked for. I wanted to gain more knowledge. I wanted to be able to be well articulated with my words, and he's giving me situations that I have to go through, and that I have to think through, and then I have to move on, and then I have to be able to apply that, take my lesson and apply it to the next situation, and so on, so forth. And see how I want to change as a person. What is this from? Oh, from changing my bumper. And yeah, so that has happened as well. Taking your lesson and moving on. That's not, like, that's something that people kind of make it sound easy. Like, bro, just move on. Like, like, it's not that deep, And me, as a sensitive person, more than often, things be feeling deeper than it should. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I have no memory on my iPad, and it keeps stopping the video, and I'm just frustrated. Some things that have helped, some messages that have helped me learn this is Michael Todd, a lot of his videos, Sarah, like, most definitely, especially her being a Black woman, and she has definitely helped me. Keon Henderson, I always forget his name, but I'm pretty sure that's his name. This beautiful, bald, Black man that just shares the word of God. Just love that. I feel like the things that have helped me do that is those messages, the journaling, holding yourself accountable, and being slow to react. So in a situation, it's easy for you to let your flesh take over. And I'll explain what flesh is in a second. It's easy to let your flesh take over and just react how you normally would. But the whole purpose of you taking a lesson and moving on is taking the lesson with you. So in those situations, that's where it matters most. Because like I always say, and I've been saying this a lot this week, it doesn't really matter. Like, everybody knows how to have a good time. Everybody does. What matters is what you do in those bad times. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that every bad time I've had, I've reacted in such a holy way. There's been times where I've let my flesh react instead of my spirit, because it's easy to do. And I feel like we all know that. It's easy to just go to what we know and our comfort zone and all these different things. But in order to be able to take your lesson and move on, you're going to have to be slow to react and try to think about, what in this situation is God trying to tell me? And I feel like that is going to help you be able to see more of a change from your perspective and from other people's perspective, because once they see that that you're changing in that way, it could, I mean, this really doesn't matter to you. I mean, I want to say it should in a sense, but you know, kind of the fruit you bear, okay? That's definitely like a fruit you bear situation, and I want to be able to have enough fruit to share with everybody. So that's something that matters to me, being able to be just a good just nothing but a positive impact to the people I interact with, to the people I spend time with. And that's a lot of people for me, because I have to go to school, I have to go to the gym, I have to have clients for tattoos, I have to have clients for hair. So now we're talking like 2 different types of clientele. What else? I know I'm missing something. When I was working in the hospital, so my patients, in school for clinicals, that's another set of patients. So, you know, God has definitely made me practice what I'm telling you right now through all those different things. And I could definitely say that what has helped me be able to deal with nasty patients, with a stuck-up client, with a friend leading me in the wrong direction, with even a parent that you don't see eye to eye with. Like, all of that, he has shown me to be slow to react, and that has helped me tremendously in being able to take my lesson and move on. Something that helps you take your lesson and move on is by not taking everything so personally. That is an issue for me, because when I was little, not that I thought the world revolved around me, but my brain wasn't wrapping its head around the fact that other people had their own feelings too, because I had so much feelings and so many like things going on in my brain, because I'm just a natural overthinker, that I didn't even have space to acknowledge that my first boyfriend had feelings of his own, really. Like, I feel like that was really the only time that was one of the situations where I was able to, like, oh shoot, like he feels sad too sometimes. Like, oh shoot, he like, he has his own story, and this person has their own story, and just realizing that everybody in the world is here for a purpose. Like, I don't know why, but also I feel like that's kind of like a growing up type of situation thing. And for others, it may take longer to get there. I'm not gonna lie, it may take longer to get there for people to realize that their feelings are not the only thing that matters. But for my purpose and what I'm trying to do and where I'm going, like, that is something that I have to remember for myself. And not to say that that makes me better, it just makes me different. But not for nothing, I feel like that helps a lot in certain situations, being able to read a situation well. Taking a lesson and moving on. Let's talk about things that you can do that will make that whole process take even longer than it's supposed to. Things that prevent you from taking your lesson and moving on. It's a lot of the things that our generation glorifies, really. Going outside and this, that, and the third. And not to say that none of those things are like a terrible thing to do. And I've definitely done my share of going outside, thinking that, like, oh girl, you going through a breakup, we outside, like things like that. Social media, our timeline can sometimes be our biggest enemy, and kind of just normalize things that are just still not okay. And I catch myself doing it sometimes too, where I'm going through my timeline and I see something that I agree with, and I'll be like, dang, that is a true meme, and I repost it because you finna hear from me today. You gonna hear what I have to say, and if somebody else is saying the same thing, you just confirmed what I said, and now I'm right. That's it, point blank period, I'm right. And you repost it and you don't think twice about it, but really sometimes our timeline is just enabling us. So listening to the majority is, I'm not gonna call it a red flag, but it definitely slows down the process. And you're gonna have to be able to, this is a react slow type of situation for when you see something and you're like, oh, let me repost, but then you gotta think, what is this doing for me? Like, is this enabling me is this encouraging me to do things that is not in God's favor? That's not in my favor? Like, what, like, you know what I mean? That's important. Sometimes your friends are not gonna have the best advice for you, especially when you're trying to do something different than what they're trying to do. So I think that's very important to know when and when not to listen to your circle, because they're learning just like you. And a thing that I had to learn was to at the end of the day, go to the Bible, bro. Go to his word. Like, that's really what I had to do, especially when, like, God gave us free will. For me personally, and I think this has helped me be able to have patience in this process of growing as a person, it's that putting in the work yourself is way more satisfying of a win than one that's handed to you. And I feel like he gave us free will for it to be that much more satisfying when we choose him. When we have free will and we still choose him. What other dedication can you make than having free will and still choosing him, when there's everything else out there that people could use to replace him? So yeah. Things, social media, substances, friends, environments. Just be very, what was the word that I used the other day? I used the word, hold on. I'm acting like I don't remember. Intentional. be very intentional about the decisions you make, and when you learn to not operate off of your emotions, it makes everything 10 times easier. And I just had this conversation with my friend yesterday about how women are just configured to have a lot of emotions. Like, we think off of our emotions a lot, and it's okay to think off of your emotions, but don't act off of your emotions. If I wanted to give my teenage self advice, don't think off of emotions, because that's how your body's configured, and fighting that is not going to help you. And actually, you abandoning that is not going to help you as a woman. It's being able to not act off of it. It's being able to take your emotions, acknowledge the emotions, and if you're an empath, then acknowledge whatever emotions you're feeling in the room, and act out of love. Always act out of love. Show fruit. Like that, like, it helps a lot. It's hard to do. It's really hard to do, especially when you fall into your flesh and you let your flesh make the outside reactions. But that is something that has and will continue to help me going forward. And again, as a woman, I could definitely say that I've stumbled over that plenty of times, because it's so easy, especially with our cycle. Our cycle, bro. Just now, I start recording, then I lose memory, and I'm crying. And then I'm crying, and then I'm back on the screen looking crazy because my emotions, sometimes we cannot control our emotions. So feel your emotions, don't abandon them, man or woman. Like, that's something, like, don't try to shove that aside and replace it with things like what I just said before, the things that will slow down your process and taking a lesson and moving on. God could be trying to teach you something in a situation, and you're just a cup half empty perspective, and now you're upset over something that could have taught you something different. And eventually, most of the time we get there. Okay, we get there. For the people that really want to change as a person, we get there. But something that I want to do as a 21-year-old is, let me figure this out now before I have my kids, so I'm not taking whatever I have and passing it on to the family that I'm trying to create. And for our generation, a big thing that is put out there a lot is breaking generational curses. How do you think you're going to break generational curses if you're following the crowd? You know what I'm saying? And not to say, like, I've followed the crowd before. I definitely have. So nothing that I'm saying right now is like I'm not just saying this because, like, I'm, like, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that I haven't partaken in my fair share of things that have slowed down my process that I definitely could have gotten a while back. Like, if we're gonna be anything, let's be real. Yeah, environments, going out, substances, turning 21. You know how that go. Everybody want to get drunk. Like, you turn 21, what are you thinking? Popping a bottle, yo. And that, what? Popping a bottle. That's what you think. And then I feel like since you could use your ID, now this is my situation actually. Let me not speak for everybody. When I was turning 21, because I didn't really drink or anything like that before I turned 21, like, I did drink, but I didn't, like, I didn't have a fake ID. I didn't have none of that. Like, I just chose to wait. That was me. So when I turned 21, it was up for that liquor. Like, that liquor was hiding from me, because you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go out, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I was definitely feeling to go out and be able to use my ID. And that's something that, you know, not to knock down that whole process of turning 21, but it's how can I word it? It could be a gate to something more, especially if you're going out every weekend and subconsciously making the habit of drinking. So then Friday comes, you start getting that taste in your mouth for some casa, for some Henny, for some Douce, you know what I'm saying? So that's a normal, like, that was something that I had to go through. And Friday 3 o'clock on the dot, when I'm clocking out of school, I'm tasting a Corona with lime, you know what I'm saying? So like, I definitely, like, through these past few months, I could definitely say from September, see, this year broke me down and built me back up, yo, like, to no extent. Like, I could not even, words cannot describe the things that I had to go through. I had way more ups than downs, but the downs were so bad, yo. And I was turning to substances for comfort. I was going outside. My style kind of changed a little. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was putting on that persona that our generation kind of pushes onto us to get us along. And I feel like that was something that definitely made this whole process of taking my lesson and moving on longer. Was it necessary? Because that was the only way that, oh my gosh. Was it necessary? Yes, because the only way that I was going to be able to move on and get to the spot that I'm at now is to go through those things. And something that I learned is like dang, it really sucks that I had to go through 2 breakups to learn yada 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 about myself, about what I want in a relationship, about what I don't want in a relationship. Like, wow. Like, and to top it off, God, he plays jokes, yo. If the funniest person I've ever met was God, because he plays jokes all the time. And if you pay attention enough and you're able to take yourself out of a situation enough to like read the scene and try to see what he's telling you, he'll throw in a few jokes. He sure will. He sure will throw in a few jokes just for you, baby. Like, boy, oh boy. And I could sit here forever and talk about it too, but we don't even have enough time on YouTube. I might as well just start a live. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this past year, I had to learn like a whole, like, you'll think that you're done with learning something until you have to go through it again. And you realize that you never really dealt with that. You never really dealt with that trauma. You never really dealt with that pain. You never really dealt with that heartbreak. Whatever the case may be, like, it will come back up. It will come back up. And boy, this second time around, let me just speak about my breakup real quick, because I feel like not a lot of people are honest about it, and this is my testimony. And people could talk about the thing. I'm so for real, like, a goal of mine is to definitely get a camera, because that's crazy. I cannot keep doing this. I don't even know what videos I just deleted off my phone, so I hope I didn't delete no important stuff, because what was I saying? Oh, people could talk about my issues all they want, and whatever I did, whatever I didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people could talk about me. I'm sure you know, you're not gonna be everybody's hero. You're not gonna be everybody's hero in their story. Like, you're definitely a villain in some of them. Hopefully not most of them, but in some of them, yes. Like, that's a normal thing for everyone. When your flesh shows out, and you know, you let your trauma, you let your whatever, everybody could talk about my testimony, because that's exactly what it is, testimony. Everybody could talk about my testimony all they want, but I heard this in a video. Make sure I'm included so I could tell you what God did with it and how he changed me and transformed me and made me into a better person to be able to not be in that situation again. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just recognizing that all of this is part of your testimony will help you have a better mindset to move forward, help you have that cup half full perspective to move forward, and everything that entails with that, even with your relationship with God, like, you know. Oh, on May 28th, the Let Them theory. The Let Them theory. It says, I'm not sure what God is doing in this season, but I trust him. I'm trying to be in the overflow by being ordinary. I went to the gym today. I'm at school right now. God is everything I need. I'm going to leave weed, unhealthy relationships in the past. Oh, substances, yo. Substances. I'm still struggling with this as to whether weed is good for me or not, but I could definitely say that I had a very unhealthy relationship with weed in the times that I was low. And in the times that I was low, I turned to weed to, you know, help me move on. And I was just talking about this with my client yesterday, that, you know, sometimes weed will be our crutch. You know what I mean? Like, when you're happy, let me smoke. When you're sad, let me smoke. Like, when, like, I need a blunt. Oh, you had a long day at work. Oh, I can't wait to clock out because I'm about to enjoy this blunt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that, it became unhealthy for me because, first of all, when I smoke, I'm forgetting what I'm talking about. I'm forgetting, like, whatever I was stressed about before I lit that spliff. What even happened? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And then later I would experience something similar, and I wouldn't be able to take the lesson that God was trying to teach me in that moment, because I done forgot about it. I done forgot about it because it was too hard to go. It was too hard to go through. So I lit a splee. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, literally, there's nothing that I'm telling you that I haven't been through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not giving advice that I haven't had to experience firsthand and haven't had to trip over myself OD just to get to this point, to make this video, to be able to feel comfortable about talking about weed and talking about breakups and talking about just like all of everything that entails every testimony that built me into who I am right now. And yeah, what did y'all eat today? Yeah, and I'm still struggling with the weed situation as we speak. I've managed to change my habits, because that is the first step, is to change your habits and to be slow to react, because it got to the point where rolling up was just my reaction. Okay, that was my reaction. And it's like, you know, at least I'm not smacking nobody, at least I'm not, you know, cursing them out, at least I'm not, you know, out on the street doing da-da-da-da. Like, I'm just smoking, like, you know, like, I'm not hurting nobody, but I was hurting myself. You know what I mean? Like, I was not doing it for me, okay? And yeah, I feel like this was already a long video in itself, so I think I'm gonna stop it here. Thank you guys for sitting and talking with me. I hope some of my testimony has been able to make you think, at least if it didn't change how you see something, at least let it make you think about something. You know what I'm saying? Having that open mind is definitely something that has helped me be able to listen to people when they're telling me that I'm in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? People don't really like hearing that, and as a Capricorn, I don't like hearing that I'm wrong, okay? I don't like hearing that I'm wrong, but in order for me to change, I have to step out my comfort zone, and you're gonna have to as well. If you want to get anywhere in life, you're gonna have to step out your comfort zone. Shoot, me being able to do so many things, like it's me stepping out my comfort zone, and you want to be able to have your uncomfort be comfortable. Like, be okay with trying new things. Be okay with switching a habit if you know that it's gonna benefit you in the end. Like, be okay with change, and just learning how to adjust parameters, adjust a mindset, just in general, you know what I mean? Oh, I mentioned flesh earlier and I didn't explain it. Flesh, there's three things. I think I wrote it in my book. Hold on, I'll come back when I find it. There's your spirit, your flesh, and your soul. And most of the time we react off of our flesh. Our flesh is what is basically, I like to think of it as like that's what all of our trauma is attached to, and that has become our shell. Like, that's like our flesh is everything that we have absorbed while living on this earth. Our spirit is what God gave us, and it's all the good attributes that you have to yourself. Like, for me, I have a good heart. Like, I'm sensitive, but in a way that I'm able to relate to people and be able to just have a new level of understanding, and the voice he's given me, I'd like to think that that's part of my spirit as well. Yeah, soul, I have to look a little bit more into. What I've been more concerned about recently is my flesh, because that's what I act off the most, and that's what most people tend to act off of. And it takes a whole new level of awareness to take yourself out of your flesh and only act from your soul. And that's almost impossible, because sin is something that we cannot avoid. But shoot, you could try as hard as you can to avoid what you can, you know what I'm saying? You know, obviously our flesh will react before our spirit does, before our soul does. Like, it will, but it's important to take yourself out of that and be able to recognize, this is my flesh that's making me feel insecure. This is my flesh that's making me feel like I cannot move on without this person. This is my flesh that's making me feel like I'm broke and I'm stuck here forever. Like, your flesh will make you forget everything God has taught you to know. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what flesh is. And I just wanted to explain that real quick, because I said that I'd explain it earlier. And once, I feel like thinking about it in that aspect will help you be able to not only uphold yourself to a level of confidence that will help you oh, whoa, I'm so funny. Spirit, soul, body, which is your flesh. I was looking for it in my book, I couldn't find it, so I googled it. But see, God be playing jokes, but it's right here. Spirit, soul, body. Body is flesh. Your body is your flesh. So I just found that crazy that that it was on the page that I just stopped looking for it on. Dang, and it fell out. What is he telling me by this? I'm gonna read this because this fell out and I just feel like that's really crazy. Yo, okay. God, you are so good. You are so good. Okay. Let's read the page that just fell out before I get off, because that was insane. Like, I literally, like, I kid you not. I'm not making this up. I swear. Like, I was looking for, because I couldn't figure out the 3 words, and I said I'd come back, right? So I'm like, okay, let me look. I'm going through my pages, and I'm like, dang, I can't find it. So I just stopped looking. I stopped looking, and I walk away. I'm like, you know what? Like, you know what? Forget this. I'm about to go to Google. And I Googled the answer, and I found the answer. And then I start the video, and then I look, and then I'm literally the corner, it says it right there. And I'm like, literally when I stop looking. See, sometimes right when you're close to your peak, you give up. You give up and you walk away. And in this case, from this video, I'm talking about a lesson. So in this case, you know, you could be so close to getting this abundance of knowledge to help you move on, but you just give up. And you just find short answer. You just find your little crutch. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. That was crazy. That is, God be talking to me sometimes. And I feel like that's why these videos will help someone. It has to help someone. I know it. The way that there are no coincidences here. That's something that I take like, I know. Yo, I kid you not, the devil is literally trying to stop me from recording this message because it keeps saying, like, you know, the no memory thing. And then I literally just paid for more memory. Like, I literally just spent $10 just so I could be able to record this video, and it's still like playing games with me. So, but I'm going to finish what I'm saying because, you know. So this was recorded on October 8th. So that means it was 2023. What can God do with damage? The value is still in you. Do you want to be whole? The value is still in me. My spirit is good. Ephesians 2:10. Damage into destiny. Damage into destiny. I deal with things and then I bring it to God. It says, bring your damage to God. Sitting with it will make you defeated. Bring it to Him. Sitting in it for too long. And I think that I'm writing down things that I struggle with. So that is definitely something that I struggle with. Sitting in it will make you defeated. Bring it to Him. What isn't transformed is transferred. Yo, I'm not for nothing. This is definitely pretty much everything that I said. Worship and do the hard work. That is a big thing too. Worship, y'all. Like when you're sad, instead of running to that L, this is what I do right now. Instead of running to an L, I just turn on glory. Lord, if I find favor in your sight, Lord, please hear my heart cry, desperately waiting to be where you are, across the heights of, I don't know that word, travel near or far, for your glory. I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. Anyways, I had to break out into a whole worship session. Honestly, this is exactly what I needed. Like, from the crying to this, like, this is confirmation for myself, and let it be confirmation to you that that God has a plan for your situation right now, just how he did for every situation that you've been through before. And just, let me finish reading this. Be careful when someone describes you by your condition and not your name. Bro, I literally just said this. Okay, I gotta keep going before my iPad dies. Be careful when somebody describes you by your condition and not your name. Do not be your issues. The greatest way to kill a queen is when she is a kid. Your traumas when you was a kid. What happens when the person that was supposed to care for you hurts you? The person that was supposed to care for you, the people that was supposed to care for you, God does his best work with damaged people. Wait, what happens when the person was supposed to care for you hurts you? Think about it. God does his best work with damaged people. The scriptures I have is Zechariah 4:6, Philippians 1:10. He does his best work with damaged people. He calls for it, he carries it, he covers it, he converts it. Don't let shame start talking for you. He commissions it. This is a message Mike Todd did. I definitely remember this video. And I'm not sure if my playlists are public, but I'm pretty sure this message is in the playlist that says God's Tongue. And if it's not public, I'll make it public just for this. The message was called What Can God Do with Damage by Mike Todd. The next one is Sarah Jakes. Yo, I just said that. Yo, no way. One side is Michael Todd and the other side is Sarah Jakes. This message is called Own Your Lesson. Own Your Lesson, Sarah Jakes. This is on November 2nd. So a little bit of a jump, October to November. A little bit over a month. No, less than a month. You cannot live up to your own intentions. My intentions versus my impact. Making sure they align with relationships when loving one another. I am responsible for my impact. Realizing when I'm the villain. Using my tongue for purpose. Making my intention show my actions. Missing the mark. Sin is missing the mark. Missing the mark for what God has called me to do. See the marks. Use humility. Yo, this is literally what I was saying. And not for nothing, like, this is exactly what I said at the beginning of the video, that, like, sometimes going back to your journaling, like, will help you realize that you're doing good. Like, again, I'm not better than y'all. I'm just different. I'm just different. There's probably things that I have yet to learn that other people have down to a T, but what am I up to? Use humility. I don't deserve to miss the mark. Apologize using humility. I can't miss the mark just because you did. I can't miss the mark just because somebody else did. Spirit of sin versus spirit of God. Take it to God. That's something consistent in both of these pages, is to take it to God. Use your honesty to acknowledge what God needs to go to battle with you. He won't heal what you don't bring to him. Eat your losses so you can take the lesson. Be grateful for your lessons. Eat your losses sounds like something I said. Like, that doesn't even sound like Sarah Jakes. That sounds like something I was trying to say to myself. You better eat that, bro. You better hold that L, bro. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad this fell out, and that's crazy. That's really crazy. But I think that was a good note to end on. I really think that was a good note to end on. So listen, y'all, I want to get a camera soon, so I don't even have to deal with this whole memory situation. This is recorded on my iPad, so do what we can when we can, you know what I'm saying? I hope this video has helped somebody in some sense, to maybe make someone think that they're not crazy, to give confirmation to somebody that has been thinking about changing their ways for a while. Yeah, Good morning, y'all. It is the next morning. Today is Thursday the 13th. Yesterday was Wednesday the 12th. I just got to watch the whole thing, and it's really a blessing to see how far I've come and see how slowly I'm becoming more confident in what I'm saying. And I think I've been able to do that because I have God by my side, and I'm able to share the lessons that He's trying to teach me, because I know that just as much as He's trying to teach me, He's trying to teach somebody else out there. Okay, so hopefully this reaches one of y'all. If it doesn't reach everybody, that's okay, as long as it reaches one. And yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, quality over quantity, right? So yeah, I just wanted to say bye, y'all. I hope you guys see me next time. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Please share it with somebody that you think would benefit off of this video in some way. And even if you don't, you being here is just enough for me. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed day. I'm about to go to school, but I graduate next week, and this might be the last time I wear scrubs. This color scrubs. Okay, I'm gonna burn these scrubs after. Okay. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Have a great Thursday or Friday, whatever day that this video gets up, and have a blessed one.